Let me start this off by saying I'm probably one of the biggest Gears of War fans you'll probably ever talk to. I remember playing the first game like crazy and beating it over 6 times with different friends and family members. It's a franchise that I've adored since I first saw the gameplay being displayed at a conference. And I feel I'm one of the few people that actually enjoyed Gears 4 and enjoyed almost all of the campaign. I felt it was a great start that really did set up a great foundation to expand on the franchise. I understand that people didn't like the robot enemies in the beginning, but I actually enjoyed their design and the role they played in the campaign. It was all about character building and world building when it came to Gears 4. And because of that, we were left with a game that couldn't really evolve the franchise. And a lot of Xbox fans felt that fatigue a little bit and wanted something different when it comes to the next Gears game. And lo and behold, we have Gears 5, which is about to release to the masses. And with a strategic press release today, we have a lot of new information on the campaign, which seems to change the entire franchise and put the game on another level. We have new enemy types, bigger worlds, more expansive stories, side quests, RPG elements, and of course, the biggest campaign we've ever seen in a Gears of War game. And like a person that can't wait to read anything on the campaign, I waited till midnight last night to read every detail when it comes to the campaign because I just want to get my hands on this game, and I wanted to give you guys all the information that these reports bring with it. Now, this is a lot of information because it would seem that Gears has a lot of change attached to it. So let's dive into this and talk about one of the best gaming franchises around. But before I do that, if you like the video, hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support is greatly appreciated. Now, after reading numerous articles and reports on the campaign, after the Coalition invited multiple media types to try out the campaign, one thing is for sure, this isn't the same Gears of War we're all used to. It's not just another Gears game, and we can expect a huge change to the franchise when we get our hands on Gears 5. And the first thing I want to dive into is the length of the campaign, which seems to be the biggest Gears of War game to date. The campaign, which is set in an open world hub-like game, much like Metro Exodus or God of World, has side missions and a bunch of collectibles for you to grab throughout the world. So there's going to be amazing activities for you to do all over the map if you choose to do them. But let's say you don't want to do that and you just want to go through the campaign without really exploring, you can do that also, and the game will be around 12 hours long. But if you throw in the side missions and you want to explore and get a better understanding of the world and lore, you can sink into over 20 plus hours into the game, and some reports even say it could go up to 25 plus hours. One of the reports does make me say a little bit of Ubisoft elements attached to the game because there will be little question marks around the map that indicates points of interest. These could contain resources, story elements, or even collectibles. An example of this is when one of the people that played the game said this about what they saw at one of these question marks. You can simply ignore all the side quests and content if you'd so choose. We were told that the Coalition expects a player skipping side quests and exploration could get through the campaign in around 12 hours, while those who dabble would see 20 plus. A completionist might find even more to uncover. In addition to story collectibles like text logs and data files, there are also unique relic weapons to uncover which have unique properties. One relic weapon we found was a Boltok pistol designed for hip-firing gunslinger style. To obtain it, we had to battle through 2 swarm flocks and waves of enemies to get it, who had swarmed upon a crashed COG aircraft. This excites me because you'll be able to find new weapons with maybe different gameplay elements attached to them, but in order for you to get them, you'll have to earn them, which is something completely new to the franchise, and it adds a lot more gameplay mechanics to it and allows us to challenge ourselves for better weapons or better loot. But that doesn't mean it will take away from the cinematic experiences and set pieces the franchise has established for years. The article had this to say about it. Connecting these open world areas are more traditional Gears-like levels. We dived into frostbitten ruins of the New Hope facility with its familiar labyrinth hallways. We explored UIR rocket silos in the scorched desert with unique culture architecture of its own, hinting at a broader world. These more structured areas provide some of the epic cinematic set pieces Gears is known for, while the open world areas that connect them together make Gears 5 feel more modern, while also creating a sense of scale that previous games simply couldn't achieve. I'm glad to hear this because I truly believe that Xbox needs a game that has these epic set pieces that really drop the gamer's jaw. And that's exactly what's happening with this new Gears game, it would seem. They're not only providing more content and a lot more to story, but they'll provide awesome set pieces that we get to experience. This truly does seem like the biggest Gears game to date. And speaking on the story, which has been kept a secret for a little while now by the Coalition, I think they've been keeping things a secret because they want to keep things a surprise for the gamers. And I've said this before and I'll say it again, the story campaign in Gears is the heart and soul of the franchise, and the characters attached to the games are what people love the most. And that's exactly what this article indicates when it says this. For our preview, the Coalition propelled us forward a few chapters near the setting of that mysterious original trailer. I don't want to give too much away for those looking to avoid spoilers, but the snippets of the 28+ hour campaign we explored offered more insight into dynamics between Kate, Del, and JD and the current state of the trio's relationship. Throughout the acts, we played Kate, experienced headaches from the Swarm hive mind, along with paranoid visions filled with dark mutterings. Full of ill intent, it provides some insight into what being plugged into the Locust/Swarm hive mind is like, adding a layer of horror into the mix. The hive mind attempts to drive Kate into mistrusting her allies, showing her visions of them conspiring against her. It's hard to tell who to trust, which makes the campaign all the more mysterious. Nothing seems safe, and it is that invasive sense of vulnerability that could help this be the most engrossing Gears story to date. Now, that's what I call a huge in-depth game that people can really get attached to. These are the types of stories that gamers love to see when they play their games. Things that challenge the characters attached to the game and have changes to characters that they grew to know. It's all about character development and even a coming-of-age story. That's what this is all about with Gears 5. It's changing the narrative attached to the franchise and challenging the developers and gamers to adapt to what the new Gears is going to be. Be it Kate, JD, Del, and even Marcus, it's all about character development and seeing how each character reacts to every situation. And not to mention the battles every character has within themselves. And that's exactly what this Gear 5 seems to be aiming for. But it doesn't end there. We also have RPG elements to the game, which is something completely new to the franchise. And these RPG elements are attached to Jack, the robot that just opens doors for us in previous games. But in Gears 5 game, you'll be able to upgrade the robot and actually have it help you in fights. The article goes into detail when it says this. To enhance the more open areas, the Coalition also had to pile on additional reasons to explore. One of these reasons comes in the form of Jack, the robot, who represents Gears 5's first foray into light RPG progression systems. Jack is far more powerful and potent than he was in previous games, used primarily to open doors. Now he can zap swarm enemies with stunning electric bolts, spawn over shields on his enemies, and generate stealth fields for the entire party. These systems and features can be upgraded using tech found around the game's maps and locations, as well as unlocked as part of the story. The enemies have been tuned in response to Jack's presence as well, requiring some of his abilities and tactics to progress effectively. For example, levels aren't washed with ammunition like they were in previous games, but you can send Jack out to pick up ammo from downed enemies in the field. You can't depend on Jack, however, since a lot of his skills come with fairly long cooldown timers, especially when playing in experienced difficulty or above. Now, these are such different gameplay elements attached to a Gears game that it really does intrigue me to get my hands on the game even more. This shows that exploring the world will be rewarded and that doing it will actually enhance your gameplay mechanics throughout your playthrough. Not to mention, it takes a familiar element in Jack and makes him a vital part to the team you play with. I can't wait to see what I'm able to do with Jack and how he helps me in fights, but also how he can help defend my characters. It adds an element of strategy to the game, which makes me extremely happy, because as everyone knows, I truly do love strategy games and making decisions on different tactics and adjusting my plan of attack in the blink of an eye. But to wrap up this jam-packed video, I have to say that this game does seem like it's an extremely high-risk move by the Coalition. But I'm happy they have the talent and confidence to actually pull this off. Because as much as I love Gears of War as a franchise, I do understand the need to adapt and change certain elements in order for the game to stand the test of time. We've seen this with many games like Assassin's Creed and God of War, games that are ultra popular but needed to change a lot of aspects in order for the game to stay relevant. That's exactly what's happening with Gears 5 right now. It's a game that millions of gamers love, but they also want the game to bring something new to the table. And with Gears 5, it would seem that the Coalition has finally found its groove and has brought something completely revolutionary to the table. I can't wait to play this game, and I'm happy that the people that had the chance to play it seem to enjoy every single minute of it. But enough about what I think. Let's hear what you think about all this. Does this article make you excited about Gears 5? Do you like the open world mechanics? Is the 20-hour campaign something you wanted in the Gears game? Are you surprised by all the changes coming to the game? What new element excites you the most? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. Any support helps the channel out more than you know. And you can also follow me on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my videos. Also, follow me on Mixer. The link will be in the description. I recently started streaming on Mixer because I found the community a lot more engaging and a lot more fun. So if you want to hang out and chat with me, I'm very active with my chat and always playing games. I hope to see you guys there. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching. And until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.